It's Recovery Awareness Month. I'm sitting down with Bulelwa Liana Badi. She's going to talk us through her journey to recovery. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're 14 months sober. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It feels awesome. Yeah. I never thought I could actually even be sober for an hour or a day before, you know? So knowing that this is possible is like the most liberating thing for me. It's beautiful.
Tell me about your life before this journey to recovery started.
Okay, so I started, I like to think that I started, my first contact with drugs was the same as a lot of other young people, you know, like in the club scene, parties, and it was a lot of fun back then for me, you know, because that's what everybody else my age was doing, you know, they were partying hard and drinking a lot, but for me, it very soon became a solution to how I'd always felt, you know, not knowing that I probably was suffering from depression, but I just always felt like I was never comfortable in my own skin and there was always something wrong with me. And when I had my first experience with drugs and alcohol, that was like a spiritual experience for me because it sort of took me away from that feeling of not being fine, and until it started being fun.
Tell me about that feeling. What did it feel like to not be fine?
I always felt like it was difficult for me to even get out of bed and start a day. And my peers were always excited about stuff at school and I couldn't feel those feelings. Everything that I did was like, it's like I had to drag myself to get through it. I always had to sort of fight to get through a day. And I never understood what this was, you know, but it is something that I became so comfortable with that I started believing that it's everybody's experience. Everybody goes through this, so why? And I started feeling like, you know, frustrated with myself that why can't I just like get on with it like everybody else? You know, everybody seems to be like managing really like fine and they can laugh and be happy and whatever. I used to fake smiles all the time because I thought that's, you know, everybody's going through what I'm going through. Why am I not dealing with it?
Did you ever try and speak about it or get help by maybe talking to your family about it or a doctor?
Well, I did try and talk to my family about it. I come from a not so well-off family. So it's just an average black South African family. And when I expressed how I felt or whatever, they're like, you know, go to church, just pray or whatever. And there's like, I think this belief that this doesn't exist for us black people, that, you know, black people, we are born to suffer and sort of get through stuff, you know, like that. Also being told that I just need to get over myself, like I was too self-absorbed or whatever, you know. And then that sort of made me stop talking about it because I also started questioning myself, like, why can't I just get through it like they say I should, you know? Why am I so obsessed with myself? Because that's what they made me believe I was.
You told me before this interview that you were even subject to some sort of, almost like an exorcism.
Yeah. They believed, like, you know, that when I started using drugs and everything, and drinking a lot, and I think when I started seeing that this was a problem or whatever, my family believed that it's like that I was probably just possessed with a demon or whatever, you know, and that I just needed prayer and I needed Jesus and I was going to be fine. And that didn't work. It didn't work. I just got really, really frustrated. And what that did was just make me sort of isolate myself from my family. That's, the only thing that it did, because I felt judged. And yeah.
What kind of drugs were you using?
I see alcohol as a drug too. I started with alcohol, which was like my gateway drug, you know. And then I got introduced to cocaine. I got introduced to crystal meth. I got introduced to weed. And eventually, like towards the end of my struggle with addiction, I didn't really have a drug of choice. My drug of choice was just more of anything that would help me escape me.